Have you ever looked at some pretty flowers and thought they'd be even better liquefied? How would you even go about doing something like that? To answer the questions that seem right out of the brain of a mad scientist in a sci-fi movie, watch the rest of this video. Welcome to Iranian Woman, where me and my mom get up to all kinds of things and take you along for the ride. Rosewater, or as we Iranians like to call it, golab, which literally translates to flower water, is a pretty big deal in Iranian culture. We add it to everything. From desserts to drinks to just covering our holy places with it. We use it for absolutely everything. And for good reason too, it smells really nice. And it has a lot of health benefits. Golab has a very calming effect, and we use it in a lot of religious ceremonies. So it could be just a placebo, but it feels nice to have around. It smells really good. And it's also good for your skin. So my mom really wanted to try her hand at making her own golab. My mom's great uncle used to make golab for us. I mean, he still does, along with a whole bunch of other things. So we kinda knew how to do it. But this was the first time my mom was actually trying to do it herself. We use this weird contraption you see here to make it. So you basically put the flowers and the water in a giant cauldron. That word just sounds very witchy. But anyways. Oh, and even though it's called rosewater, we don't actually use like roses in it. It's another kind of flower, which we call Gole Mohammadi, which basically means Mohammadi flower. Anyways, you turn the heat on so it starts boiling, and then on top of the cauldron where the lid goes, the lid is kind of like a bowl shape, and you kind of have to have a constant stream of cold water running through it. Which kind of means you should have a hose on one side, and then the lid also had like an exit point for the water so it doesn't overflow. This way the cauldron is hot at the bottom and cold on top, so the rose water can get distilled. And the distilled rose water kind of starts dripping from the end of this other hose that's connected to the top of the cauldron. Explaining this right now, I'm kind of starting to feel like I'm teaching Potions 101. I mean, you're doing some weird stuff to a plant, and then you're getting like dripped potions out of it that has effects on your mental state. Now, you may be asking yourself, what do you do with this potion? Well, you add it to food and drinks. I mean, my grandma makes these really nice cold drinks during summer, which is basically a mix of bunch of different liquidified herbal things, including golab. I mean, it doesn't really taste all that much different from water. It just smells really good, so you can add it to almost anything, and it would just smell great, and it wouldn't change the taste all that much. And you can also use it in a lot of desserts. We have a bunch of desserts that we use golab and saffron in. One of them, for example, is shole zard, which is a dessert that we kind of make on holy occasions, but you can also make it whenever. And there's another one that's my favorite. It's called marut. I mean, that's what my family calls it. Other people might call it different things. Both of them are sweet and they smell amazing, and you can also eat them while warm and while cold. Different people prefer it in different ways. My mom used to make marut for me when I was sick, because it was like a warm thing to eat, and also it was sweet, so kids like sweets, right? So sometimes I pretended to be sick just to get marut, or I would just be like, hey, I'm sick, don't you want to make that really sweet tasting dessert thing for me? Anyways, golab goes amazing with sweet things. Another thing that my mom and my grandma use it for is that they spray their faces with it. Apparently it reduces inflammation, and it just feels amazing because you smell great and you're spraying your face with the liquid. It's great. Have you ever tried golab? Is there something equivalent in your culture that you use it for these kind of things? Do you have any questions about the Iranian culture you want us to answer? Let us know in the comments. And if you like the video, please like it and share it with your friends. And to watch more videos like this, subscribe. See you in the next video.